Hello YouTube, Damo_23 here and welcome back to another episode of Leicester Reborn. Today's episode, it's episode number 50, so just give it a like and subscribe because of that. But we also have the Cabaret Cup final. This is our third final in the Cabaret Cup for the third year in a row. We are lost to Liverpool in a close game, and then last year we lost an extra time when Milinkovic-Savic scored 5 in a row and we absolutely hated him for it. Today's episode, we've got Manchester United only 2 days after drawing 1-1 to Atletico Madrid. And if you watched last episode, you know we have injuries to deal with, we know have players unavailable, and we also know that we will have Atletico Madrid in the second game of this episode. I have a 1-1 draw being the away leg, and we have a home tie to get through them with a very tired team, as we've only played 4 games. This will be game 3 and 4 in about 12 days or so. With that being said, let's go into it and see what we can do. Let's go and recap our run into the Cabaret Cup final before we go and look at Manchester United. In the Cabaret Cup, we beat Burnley 3-0, beat Chelsea 6-2 in an absolute drubbing, beat Millwall 5-0, and we played City in over 2 legs. We won 2-0 at home, 1-1 away, and that was enough to see us make the final. With that being said, we'll go and have a look at Manchester United, who have a very good squad. And if we go and look at all of their Cabaret Cup fixtures only, they beat Liverpool 1-0, which was a team that I'm very happy that are gone because we would have lost to them in the final. Brighton 3-1, Barnsley 1-0, and absolutely smacked Brentford in the home tie to win 7-1 and 9-2 over aggregate. If you look at all their fixtures, though, United have been okay. They've just signed Polly, who's been doing all right. And a bit of a resurgence, but they have lost games this year. Against Palace, they won 4-1, and they just played Bayern Munich and won 4-3 in the Champions League at home. I expect Bayern to come back, but as you can tell from the United squad, they went very full strength with Rashford, Sane, Lucas, so I'm hoping that they are a little bit off the pace, and with that being said, we'll hopefully see a tired United side. Let's talk about our team, because we obviously got injuries. Carter's still suspended from getting red carded in the league, so he's out. Marsh is out for the next 4 to 5 weeks, so he's out. Smith Rowe's not back, so he's out. Velez has failed his fitness test, as proven here. But as you guys, if you watched last episode, know, we brought him in for the last 15 minutes and he got me an equaliser. The plans to do the same thing again. Bring him on if needed, and more than likely is to take a penalty as well because he's got 14 penalty taking, so he will do that. With that being said, Silva will go up front. We're also going to bring Mace to the bench. He's a former Man United player that's been scoring goals in the under 21s. And so with that being said, I am going to bring him in here as well for today. Smith Rowe will not make the team. He is not good enough. And with that being said, Luke Thomas will start and Livramento to the other side, which I have no issues with. In the hole, I am going to go with Asan, and I'm going to put Yaya out on the left. Now, Yaya does play well and loves a pretty big game. I could bring in Alex Scott because he's very good at what he does. And to be fair, Scott loves a big game too. So I might just bring in Alex Scott. And that means that the team itself will have Ogbu on the bench, who at 17 gets a minute, and Garcia just in case as well. So not 100% full strength, but not bad, it has to be said. The team for the final will be Meslier, Livramento, Skriniar, Tomori and Thomas. You're great and Thuram have been fantastic together. Elise, Scott, Asan, and Silva. We have got guys that can take penalties off the bench. You got Yaya, Velez, Reyes, Lavia, all world class. Mace if needed, Linus, and Zand. I think it's a team that is deserving of winning the Cabaret Cup. We've been arguably the best team in the final in England for the whole season. We've only lost 1 game in the Prem, and I forgot to mention it last episode, so I'll mention it quickly. We finally lost in game week 29 to Bournemouth 3-2, and we didn't dominate, to be fair. Bournemouth played very, very, very well. If I can just bring the fixtures up. Yeah, all the way down here. Bournemouth only lost in the Premier League this year. Away from home, everybody knows that Bournemouth sit third, have conceded less than 28 goals under their expected XGA. To get the E-class was 1 shot, 1 attack, 1 goal, and then they went like 4-4-2 second half and blitzed me. But that was our first and only loss. Let's hope we don't lose to Manchester United today. Let's get into it. It is a game at Wembley. We love Wembley. We've had some good moments at Wembley beating Liverpool and Arsenal. We've had some bad moments with Liverpool last year. We had a penalty shootout, lost to Liverpool in an FA Cup final. We make it to Wembley most years. And we have a big chance of doing that again in the FA Cup because we knocked out Chelsea out of the FA Cup and we get, Elise by himself, going on a run. Elise, oh my, we lead inside 15 seconds in the Cabaret Cup final. Michel Elise picks it up. Is today our day? We lead. Finally, in our third Cabaret Cup final in a row, in episode number 50, is today the day. I was going to speak about the moments we've had at Wembley. Well, we've just had one here. Elise's got 5 guys around him, and, well, he's turned them all inside out and has finished, and we lead 1-0. We should also have a look at how United have lined up too. Jacob, our former keeper's in goal, has now been made first choice. Delot is Delot. Esteves is Esteves. Pedro's very good. Carboni's at left back, which is a good thing for us because I don't think he's their best left back, but Malacia is injured. Lucas and Unai Vencedor are both elite. Sane is great. Fernandez is Fernandez. Rashford is Rashford. And Osimhen's Osimhen. And they all look fit enough to be on the bench. Martinez, Luke Shaw, Casemiro, Rafinha, Evan Nilsson, Sancho, all on the bench as well. And this Jan Kirch chose United over me as an 18-year-old centre-back as well. But yeah, we lead 1-0. We've had moments. We've made it to Wembley most years. I've got Stoke in the quarter-final to make it to Wembley again in the FA Cup. Last year was the only year we haven't made it to a Wembley in the FA Cup, bar season 1. So yeah, it's been pretty good. But so far we have a good record against United as well. And we lead 1-0. And I know this is going to be the most boring thing to say, but if we keep a clean sheet, we win the Cabaret Cup, and I'll take that. Luke Thomas has options. Instead, he looks long looking for Hassan. I don't like that ball, but we put him under pressure at least, and Great will win the second ball. Hassan now looking for Scott. Gets their penalty. Well, how's he won the ball there, gang? Can I find that out? He's gone through the back of him to win the ball. That should be a pen. Instead, it's not, and Osimhen picks up the ball. If United score from this highlight, I am going to be livid. Tamori wins a header to Rum, who's captain today. Livramento goes on a run. Has Elise. Elise finds Scott. Scott's a big game player. Can he find a ball? He goes down. Elise again. Driving run. Cuts at the Livramento. Tarum heads. Jacob saves. Hassan, it's blocked on the goal line. It should have been 2-0. It's blocked on the goal line. Should have probably been a penalty to start the highlight. That should have been a goal. Jacob spilled it. It was a decent save from our former backup keeper. And yeah, Tamori now finds Luke Thomas. Drives. Looks inside. Finds Hassan. Back to the line of Tamori. Into Skriniar. Ball's wide. Tarum. Livramento. Driving run. Elise needs to get away from him. Instead they play a 1-2 maybe. No. Tarum. Scott. Skriniar. Into Tamori. Now we need a midfielder to drop in. Tarum's that midfielder. Livramento. Elise made another run. Instead it's Silva. Finishes. Was he onside? He was. It's 2-0. 39 minutes played. We lead 2-0 in the Cabaret Cup final, which is huge. And here we go. Tamori with a ball to Rum inside. Found a ball to Livramento. A great run from Silva. A great ball. And a finish from the Mexican wonder kid, who at one stage looked like he was departing. Now looks like he's going to be here for the ever and ever and ever. And we lead 2-0 approaching half-time. There is a temptation to go 4-3-3 to keep the fitness. But I really do think that this is a sort of day that we're going to stay on the front foot, try and get a third, and then move 4-3-3 and to keep the fitness. Ball goes long, Livramento will win. Scott has had a very good final. Tamori, Thomas, needs a runner. Back to Skriniar, very good ball. We're pinging the ball around so well. Elise looks for Silva, who's quick. Doesn't get on that one, unfortunately. Rashford now, very deep for him to pick up the ball, which is a win for us. Hinakapi. Jacob will go long. He's not much for playing from his feet. Do miss him as a backup keeper at times, but Preston's had a pretty good time of it. Hassan now. Into Thomas. Into Tamori. Into you, great. Good ball out to Thomas. Does he whip it? No, he doesn't. United win it again. Force him inside. Good press, but Bruno's got time now. Osimhen's deep as well, which is good for us. Sane finds Bruno again. They've linked up very well. Osimhen, moments. Rashford, goal. Away back into it. United have done not much, but their first movement where they've broken their press, they've scored. Of course they have. It's Manchester United. It's never easy in the final, is it? 2-1, what a move. Couldn't get near him. They really did not much. I love how deep Osimhen was. All their big players are picking it up in our own half, which means the press has been very good. But they finally found a turn through Fernandez, and they got out. And there we go. Even after the goal, look at their average ratings. United have done not much. 0.6 XG plays 2.1. As things stand, we are leading in the Cabaret Cup final. If United get an equaliser, we won't win and it'll be game over. This is going to either finish 2-1 or not. Time ticks away. I've purposely not made changes, knowing that we do have players on the bench that are alright. Do I move into 4-3-3 here? I don't think we do. I don't know what to do. What to do? I'm going to move into 4-3-3. I think I have to. I think I have to move into 4-3-3 and try and see this game out. Scott's had a pretty good time with it, but Mazzala on support. His name is Reyes. Or is it Lavia? I think it's Lavia today. Bit more experience. Elise is going to come off here. I am going to bring in Rochella, and it's more as a winger on support, just to help in build-up. And Linus for you, great because of the booking. I just don't want him to get sent off. And Linus is very good at what he does. We go into that. We go into 4-3-3. There's 10 minutes to go. We've dominated. Now it's about setting up shop and seeing it out. Yaya on a run. Still going Yaya. Gets into the box. Good run. Down he goes. What a run from Yaya. Fresh legs. Casemiro gives the penalty away. And we're going to have a chance from the spot to seal it. If you remember back many years ago, we missed a penalty against United in the semi-final in similar circumstances to see us through to a final. Because we missed, United scored, we then lost in the shootout. Silva steps up, threw Jacob it in. It wasn't a good penalty, but it's in. The Mexican has a brace. That's all she's going to write. That should be your final. Reyes will now come in for Thuram, like for like, as well. Move these two around, I think. And Livramento is going to come out for Zand, because I want him to be fit for the Champions League game. Time ticks away now. United now need 2 goals very late. We're going to finally, after 3 finals, win the League Cup. And finally at Wembley, we can tick off this Carabao Cup off the list. We have won the Premier League. We have won the Championship. We've won the FA Cup. And now we've won the Carabao Cup. It's taken 6 seasons. We've won all the competitions in England. It's now just Europe left to dominate. And then we've won every trophy available to ourselves. And well, it's not over this episode. We do have Atletico Madrid in a big game. A game that we should be winning if we are very serious about our credentials of making back-to-back Champions League finals. It's finished at Wembley. Leicester City 3. Man United 1. And, well, it's nice to celebrate at Wembley once again after many years of hurt. Second leg, Champions League, at home at the King Power. Let's see what we can do against Atletico. Now, with Atletico, let's see how they've got here. We already know because we did it last episode, but we'll do it again. Finished 21st in the group, drew AZ last game out, got through AZ after drawing in the league phase, beat them home and away. We obviously drew against them last game in the last episode. If you didn't see that, I recommend you go check it out because we signed players as well, etc. But yeah, needed Vélez off the bench off one leg to get us a goal. But we did play pretty well, it has to be said. In between all of that as well, they did play on the weekend, did they? They did play against Getafe, my boys, and they won 2-1. When I say my boys, Lynch is there. But yeah, look, should be only 2 days. They played on the Sunday, we played Saturday. Might have got an extra day break, but they may have rotated. So let's go see how they line up. In terms of the team, full strength is always good to say, apart from obviously Smith Rowe not being fit. So it's Melier, Carter's back in instead of being suspended. Skriniar and Tamori with Livramento at left back. Thuram and Newgreat with Elise, Scott, Son and Vélez. Smith Rowe not 100% fit. Martian not ready for a fitness test and to be not selected. Everyone else is on loan. So you got Garcia, Ogbu, Silva, Yaya, Mace, Reyes, Lavia, Thomas, Moore, Linus and Zand on the bench. So a very strong bench. Could start Araya, could start Yaya, could start Silva. Decided to start Scott just because his form's been really good of late. He's played pretty well and he's been getting in good areas. So I'm going to start Scott and then we can bring one of the other boys on if needed in the hole. With that being said, let's go out there and beat them. Let's go see if we are going to be through to the quarterfinal of the Champions League. We made the final last year. We need to go out here and put this game to bed early. We need to score goals. We need to do what we just did in the Carabao Cup final, realistically. They're not 100% fit. Joe Felix isn't fit, so the longer this goes, that's good. Same with Maxwell Cuthbert and same with Denver Wrench, who's their best. They've gone diamond instead of 5 at the back as well. Interesting. So Diego Fuentes and Correa, Felix, Lorente. Similar side, but as I said last episode, they're slow at the back. Like, we need to be putting them to bed. Vélez is back. Vélez is starting. He's got, 12 goals in this competition this year. So Vélez back 100% fit. Didn't have to risk him in the Carabao Cup final, which was good. And yeah, but an early goal from kickoff would not be great, but we picked the ball up here early. An early goal from us would be sensational, though. Tamori now finds Skriniar. We scored inside 30 seconds. in the Cameron Cup final. Can we score inside 30 or 40 seconds here in the first knockout stage of the Champions League second leg? Elise now gets to the byline, cuts it. Hassan's there. It's blocked. Wow, without that block, that might have been a goal. Livramento's got options. Inside the Scott. Elise, Carter, 1-2. Oblak saves. Velez misses. Wow. 3 big chances in the 52 seconds he just saw. None of them went in the back of the net. Elise should have scored. Velez probably should have been able to put it on target even though it was a tight angle. Wow. And if Hassan's effort wasn't blocked, that was in. As you can see here, dominating 16 minutes in. 5 shots, 2 plays, 0 shots, 0. No goal. We've been dominant. We need a goal. That was ludicrous to say that we didn't score. Imagine if they have 1 shot, 1 attack, 1 goal. I would say that we're going out, which would be a bit of a joke. But yeah. Enzo Bomano. Scott wins. Hassan finds Livramento. Big switch onto Elise. He's found him anyway. Velez is with him. Velez should score. He's a freak, this boy up front. 46th goal of the season. It's goal number 13 in the Champions League, and he's played 9 games, 1 off the bench. And it's his 13th goal in the Champions League. If it wasn't someone called Haaland, he would be winning Golden Boot. What a ball from Livramento. A great ball inside from Elise, and Velez doesn't miss them. And as it stands, we're through to the quarterfinal of the Champions League. Atletico yet to have a chance. We're dominating. Very, very important. Very good to see. Time ticks away here. Would love another one. 2 XG, only 1 goal. Carter's going to be suspended for the next leg. He loves a booking, that boy Carter. He's very good, but he loves a booking. Ball goes long, headed by Skriniar. Scott doesn't win. Skriniar heads to Elise. Got Carter with him. Carter now drives, goes. Elise's inside, looks for Scott. What a run. Scott should not miss. He does miss, but it falls to none other than Jorge Luis Velez. It's a brace for Velez. It's a good save from Oblak. Scott won't get an assist for it, which is unfortunate because he did very well. But that is 2-0. And probably all she wrote. Carter with a great ball through. Scott makes a great secondary run. Alex Scott's been here a long time. Good save. Great finish. Good stuff. We are 2-0 up and flying. 3.26 XG. They probably need to score right now here, Atletico, or else they're pretty out. San does well. Batted to Mori. Into Skriniar. Into Carter. Down the line for Elise. Oh, great ball. Velez wants a hat-trick. Ignored to find Scott, and Scott finishes for Oblak. 4-1, 3-0 at half-time. Absolutely breathtaking. No look of fatigue with these boys, and we put Atletico Madrid to the sword. And this is the thing, is at home, we are dynamite. At home, I think we are the best team in the world. Away from home, different story in Europe. But at home, I think we can beat anyone. We've beaten Bayern a couple of times now at home, and they're the best team in the game with Liverpool, according to the coefficients. So we are really, really good. With that being said, Velez is coming back from injury. I don't think there's a need to really risk him. So we're just going to bring him off for Ricardo Mace. Also think Hassan's played a lot of minutes, so Yaya and Elise for Silva. I think just changing those big boys out is huge, because why wouldn't you? And I think Reyes in for Thuram to just give Reyes some more minutes in the Champions League so he develops is not bad as well. With that being said, we're going to go through and just kick this game away now. Yaya looks for Ricardo Mace, heads just over the bar. Leave one change up must leave. I think it's actually going to be Skriniar for Moore coming back from injury, the 16-year-old who may have turned 17 after doing a cruciate. He still looks very good as young Moore. We'll bring him on, I think, late doors here as well. Ball goes long. Carter heads down into Melier. I'm going to also just get stuck in off as well because there's no need right now. They need 3 goals to send it to extra time. I doubt that's going to happen. Livramento going on a run. Finds Scott. Great ball through. Ricardo Mace has been fantastic. He's got good finishing. And that's in the back of the net. Bit lucky, but it goes in. Ricardo Mace's 9th goal of the year. 16 finishing, 17 dribbling, good pace. The man we bought from Man United at the start of the year has proven that he's very good. It might be half a shot to win next gen. Not going to lie. But that's a great ball from Scott. It's going to be hard to sell him next year, being that he is homegrown. And, well, we lead 4-0, 5-1 on aggregate. Make that change. And, yeah, we look fantastic, don't we? With that being said, with one last change up my sleeve, I am going to bring in Moore. For those wondering how he's come back from his injury, hasn't really played too many minutes. Look at injuries, it was because of that fractured lower leg, not a cruciate. That was out for a few months. But yeah, still looking decent. Still 17, about to turn 18. Halfway through or the start of next year in October. Still looks good. Still think if we continue to play him right now, he will grow into his potential. So we are going to bring him in there and give him some minutes because it really will help with his development coming back. But there we are, Moore gets in there as well. So yeah, we've got some youngsters in the game. You got Mace, you got Yaya, you got Silva, you got Moore, and you got Reyes. They're all very good footballers that are going to develop into being part of the first team in years to come. With that being said, 30 shots, 12 on target, 4.87 XG. We have absolutely slapped up Atletico Madrid. Will we find one more? Maybe. We just might. Yaya, ball in. Moore, he's back from injury, boys. It's perfect. Aaron Moore scores. That might be his first ever goal for us. According to the game, it's not. I don't remember him scoring, but because it didn't come up, it means he definitely has scored from a corner somewhere down the line in the league or a cup. Anyway, great ball from Yaya. Moore comes in, flies and heads home. He welcomes himself back to the first team with a goal. Yaya gets an assist. No one bar Tamori below a 7. That's now just changed. What a performance. 5-0, 6-1. We won the Cabaret Cup. And we just sent a warning shot to everyone in the Champions League that it wasn't last year, it wasn't just a fluke. This year, we're looking to make the final yet again as well. Next episode is going to be that quarter-final run and who we get in the Champions League. We look fantastic. You look fantastic. We're all fantastic. Give it a like. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. This has been fun doing 50 episodes of this save as well. And well, to be fair, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I really do think we are one of the best teams in the world and could win a quad, or if not, all 5 trophies that we could have won this year as well.